consistent in what God wants you to do in the midst of resistance. It has been my harness of discipline for all these years to continue to do what God has said, even when I meet resistance. If I was not a prophet who is straightforward and who is strict, this church will be overflowing beyond the wall. These people have chased from the church. Because when God said to me, in this church, we are raising a God-fearing generation. It means that we don't want what? Evil, darkness. It means every time I see darkness, I need to attack darkness. And in other churches, people will sit comfortable doing what they want to do, fat and set, whatever, murder, cheating in the house of God, and the pastor will be quiet. Why? The vision is different. What is the vision of the church? To raise a God-fearing generation in the unbelieving society is the most difficult thing to do. But if God has said it, why shouldn't I follow? You know, Sunrise here, they hated prophet because I don't want fat and set. They will tell you, we love the man from a distance. We love how he teach. We love what God is doing through him. But his problem, he doesn't want us to eat our sin nicely. So that's why we don't want this man. But I'm still where? Here. Many have left on account of love of their sin. When God has said it, do not be afraid to lose people to gain God. Tell your neighbor, do not be afraid to lose people to gain God. Great will be your reward if you lose friendships, relationships, even family relations, for the sake of keeping your relationship with God sane. Do you understand? Never you make people comfortable around you when they are threatening what you are born for. Never you make people comfortable around you when they are threatening what you are born for. Walking with God requires a total surrender of heart. Meaning that to serve God successfully, you must be totally sold to Him. From heart to head, down to your toe. We cannot serve Jesus successfully until Jesus have overtaken all of who we are. Tell your neighbor, we cannot serve Jesus successfully until Jesus has overtaken all of who we are. The title of my message: Unkept Presence. Unkept presence. A presence without limitation. You know, when you have unkept Wi-Fi, unkept network, it means you are always having access to use this network without interruption. So in the spirit, we are having what we call unkept present. The Bible says Joshua, having been a man born of a woman, spoke to the sun to stand still, and the sun listened. It means Joshua had unkept presence of God, because Joshua was a man of fellowship. He believed in God and he remained with God and with what God has said in the midst of resistance. The reason why believers of my generation cannot experience this connection, this power, this presence unkept, is because our fellowship with God is conditional. We are conditional in fellowshipping with God. Our fellowship with God is dictated by the state of our emotion. Joshua walked under Moses, and with Moses in the midst of tough time, Joshua remained in the path that God had marked for him. When the children of Israel turned against Moses, he remained well in the path that God had marked for him. He remained faithful in serving Moses. When Moses left the tent of meeting, he remained where Moses has met God. He became what? Faithful. He had an uninterrupted fellowship with God. That's why the Son paid homage to this man called Joshua. The Bible says he spoke to the sun that you, son, you shall not move from your position until I have destroyed my enemy. And the son listened. When we have unkept presence, nature will listen to our speech. Elijah spoke to the heavens and he rocked rain for 3.5 years. And yet Elijah was a man like you and I, but nature listened to him. Rain did not come down until Elijah uttered a prophetic statement. It's after he spoke that the rain came down. Why did the heavens listen to Elijah? Because Elijah had this fellowship without break. Why don't we see God's power in our generation? Our fellowship have got breaks. We love to rest. That's why we miss the beat of God's presence. Tell your neighbor, we love to rest. That's why we miss the beat of God's presence. Your fellowship with God is dependent on how you are feeling. Your honor of God is depending on how you are doing in the physical. It means that you and God, you merely visit one another. Oh my gosh. Let us open Psalms 91. Are you there? I'm almost done with my message. It reads as follows: He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. I love it in another translation. King James say, he who dwells in the secret place of the Almighty will abide under his shadow. Our fellowship with God cannot produce power beyond the ordinary until our fellowship is done secretly. Your coming to church can be witnessed by your neighbor, but you're kneeling down in your bedroom when no one is looking is more of what God rewards, because you fellowship with God even no one is looking. The fellowship of the heart is in a secret place where no one can witness that you are talking to God, but you remain consistent in your meeting with God in your heart. The greatest fellowship that God honors is the fellowship of the heart. Joshua remained in the prayer meeting constantly. The Bible urges us to pray constantly with the body made of flesh. It is impossible to pray constantly, but in the heart it is possible. When we constantly sit with God in the secret place, unknown to man, unseen by the eyes of flesh, God releases the grace unkept. The fellowship of Daniel and God was an unkept fellowship. Hence Daniel could not be a meal of lion, because the presence of God was forever around him and in him. When you have the unkept presence, when you speak, the heavens are speaking in concert with you. Tell your neighbor, when you have the unkept presence, when you speak, the heavens are speaking in concert together with you. Every word that comes from your lips, God will endorse, because you don't speak by your own strength. Tell your neighbor, every word that you speak, Jesus will endorse, because you are not speaking by your own strength, because God is forever with you. We become one with Jesus when we constantly remain in him in fellowship. Tell your neighbor, we become one with Jesus when we constantly fellowship with him and heart. Fellowship, our fellowship with God it is too inconsistent for us to influence the laws of nature. A lion feed on anything that is flesh, but the issue of Daniel became different because Daniel had unkept presence. According to the laws of nature, it is a legal right of the flames of fire to consume anything that it encounters. But with the regard of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, it became a different thing. It means the laws of nature became silent because God was in their midst. How much more about Paul? The Bible says a viper, the most venomous snake, bit him. He did not see a doctor. He brushed off the snake, and poison had to go to sleep because God dwelt in that man's body. When God dwells in our body, the things that kill men ordinarily, they become humble. The venom of a snake bowed before Paul because God dwelt in Paul. The flames of fire embraced Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego as a brother because the presence of God dwelt in them. Things that kill ordinary men cannot kill you when you have unkept presence. Tell your neighbor, things that kill ordinary men cannot kill you when you have unkept presence. That's why some people have HIV. They see their neighbors dying, everyone dying, but there is no sign of death in there because they are carrying what? The presence. People will continue to die with the condition, the medical condition that you have. You will never taste death because God in you, you in God. I have seen God save people, save me in particular from situations that no one can be rescued because of fellowship. When you fellowship with God, you are silencing the human authority in you. Even nature start to cooperate with you. When Joshua spoke, the son heard a voice of a brother, and it had to honor him. When lions saw Daniel, they saw a brother. That's why he did not become a meal. Listen to me. Remember what I said at the beginning of COVID? I said, as surely as the Lord is sitting on the throne, there is no a congregant of mine that will die of COVID. COVID is over. You are here. We received many cases of people. Papa had COVID. I said, listen, I will send the evangelist. I will not even come myself. They will pray for you, Papa. Go to the doctor. COVID is gone. One day brought to church here. I said, COVID, you must go. She manifested, she fell. I said, go back to Lancet. They tested this person. COVID left. Because what? Unkept presence. You enter where others cannot enter. When you have what? Unkept presence. This is God walking in human flesh in our midst. When you still depend on a given time to reach God, your prayer or your fellowship with God is too ordinary to release anything. You know the kind of prayer that you do can cast away headache, but it can never flush COVID. It can never turn a baby in the womb. Oh my God. It can never resuscitate a dead sperm so that the woman can become pregnant. It cannot do that because you are ordinary. You are what? Ordinary. The day when we stop being ordinary in our worship, every word we speak, God will carry it out. Don't you desire for this? That when you say, Lord Jesus, when I arrive at work on Monday, I need a promotion. When you arrive, you meet your boss on Monday, you say, we are taking you to a course, we want to promote you. Don't you want that kind of lifestyle? When your words become seeds that produce results. Words of mankind are seeds. But the only problem, your seed is barren. Yeah? When you speak, every time you talk, you are throwing a seed, but it does not come back to you because your seed is barren. Without God, your words carry no weight. It means you are wasting your time when you talk. Remember the words of prophet Elisha. He said to the woman, by this time next year, you'll have a baby. The woman said, please, prophet, don't do that. I have accepted that I'm barren. The prophet said, hey, but I'm saying by this time next year. These words that are filled with God's energy does not need permission from man to work. Even your faith cannot affect them. Whether you believe or not, it will happen.